Hello everybody, it's Nomad Jim, and today I'm coming to you from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And this is a place that I've visited many times over the last several years. So people ask me a lot of times why I keep coming back here, what it is I like about KL. So today I'm going to share with you 9 reasons why I really love KL and always enjoy coming back here. And some of the reasons may be things you've already heard before from other people, but some of them may be things you haven't heard. And reason number 6 in particular might be a little controversial, but I hope you'll hear me out on that one. So let's get started with the first one. And reason number 1 that I love KL is because of how diverse that it is. It's this vibrant mix of different cultures, ethnicities, religions, and it's just a really interesting mix. So you have 3 different ethnic groups here. You have the Malay, Chinese, and Indian. And each of these ethnic groups bring their own cultures, customs, foods into the mix. And it's really amazing. And these different cultures not only coexist with each other, but they also enrich each other and celebrate each other. And it's really nice to see the harmony between these different groups. And I'm not naive enough to think that there aren't ever any problems, because I know there are things like that. No matter where you go in the world, people don't always get along with each other and there can be disagreements. But I can tell you in my own observations, observing how people interact with each other in a variety of different situations, that by and large, people get along really well with each other and live in harmony with each other. And that's a really wonderful thing to see. The second thing that I really love about KL is the Malaysian people in general, regardless of their ethnicity. I find that Malaysians are the most kindest, most decent, most helpful people you're going to find pretty much anywhere. They're really a joy to deal with in a variety of different situations. I've always enjoyed interactions that I have with Malaysians of all types. Number 3 is that English is widely spoken here. Most people in KL can speak English. And that's different than what you're going to find in a lot of other countries in Southeast Asia. Take, for instance, Thailand or Vietnam, where you have some communication issues sometimes with people when you try to speak English with them. Now, I don't have a problem with going to a country where there's a little bit of getting outside your comfort zone and having to work a little bit to communicate. That's fine. I don't mind doing that sometimes. But it is nice sometimes to be in a place where you don't have to work that hard to communicate. You're able to communicate in English with the people who are there. So that's a really nice thing about KL. The fourth reason why I love KL, and the main reason that I happen to be here this time, is for the excellent healthcare. Now, I did a video recently about why KL is my preferred healthcare location when I'm outside the United States. And you can click on the link above to take a look at that video. But every interaction that I've had concerning healthcare here in KL has just been an excellent experience. It's shown me just how amazing the healthcare is around here. It's top-notch, it's affordable, it's efficient, it's modern, it's really great. And anyone who tells you that in the United States that you have the best healthcare there in the US and the rest of the world doesn't have great healthcare, I can tell you from my own experiences that's incorrect. And the experiences that I've had here in Malaysia have shown me that healthcare here is as good or better than what you can get in the United States. The number 5 reason why I love KL is that it's a very modern city with all of the conveniences that you would expect in a big city, but with a higher standard of living than you see in a lot of the other big cities in Southeast Asia, except for Singapore. When I look at the ratio of cars to motorbikes on the streets, it's apparent that it's quite a bit different here than, say, Thailand or Vietnam. Both of those places, you've got a very high volume of motorbikes. In fact, it's the majority of the vehicles that you see on the streets. And you also have vehicles like tuk-tuks, things like that. In Malaysia, the ratio of cars to motorbikes is much more skewed towards cars. There's a lot more cars than there are motorbikes, and you don't see any tuk-tuks either. So it's a very different type of vehicles that you're going to see around. So it just tells me that there's a higher standard of living. There's more people who own cars and drive cars rather than driving motorbikes. And there's also all the different cuisines and things like that that you can eat here, as well as Malaysian food, which is a very diverse variety of things, like I mentioned before, because of all the different ethnicities that are here. And there's also huge shopping malls. It's just a very modern, enjoyable, comfortable place to be. So the number 6 reason why I love KL is that KL is not Bangkok. So as I mentioned earlier, this one's a little controversial perhaps, but hear me out on this. Now Bangkok is a great place. I enjoy going there, can always have a fun time there. It's a nice place to visit. But Bangkok and KL are two really different types of cities. Bangkok tends to attract a certain type of person. Perhaps somebody who's looking for cheap beer, for getting a little wild and crazy, having a wild time. Now KL is not that kind of a place. Sure, you can come here and drink and have a party, no problem. The beer here isn't very cheap, and that tends to keep people away who are looking for cheap beer. So the party scene here is more subdued, it's more moderate. So for people who really like to party and get wild and crazy, they look at KL and say, well, it's a little boring there. And I think the locals would say, yeah, it is. We like it that way. We don't want to be that wild and crazy place that people come to. For that, you go to Bangkok. You don't want that when you come to KL. You're not looking for that. And KL is not wanting to attract that kind of person. And it's like the old saying in Southeast Asia that you go to Singapore to work, you go to Bangkok to party, and you go to KL to live. And that makes perfectly good sense. The number 7 thing that I love about KL is how connected it is. Within the city and within the Klang Valley, the metropolitan area, there's LRT lines, MRT lines, monorail, commuter trains, all linked together very well. It's a very well-connected city, easy to get around to different parts of the city and outside of the city as well. And also they have an express train that goes all the way down to the airport, which is quite a ways outside of the city too. And speaking of the airport, when you look at connectivity to the outside world, it's also excellent from here. The Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, is very well connected. The best low-cost carrier in the world, which is AirAsia, happens to be headquartered right here in KL. So from here, you can travel nonstop to just about anywhere in Asia using AirAsia, and it's for an affordable price on top of that. So it's really a great option, very well connected to the rest of the world. Number 8 is the weather, and that's kind of a mixed bag for me. KL has a tropical climate, so that means it's hot and it's humid all year round. And it tends to rain quite a bit, but it's not raining all of the time. Generally, you're going to have a shower and then it's over with, so it's really not that bad. And the thing that I've learned is that you learn to adjust to it. You learn how to manage the way that the weather is by finding the times of the day to do certain activities and knowing what times of the day you don't do certain activities. And once you learn to do that, you're able to manage it just fine. And if you're somebody like me who really has had enough of cold and snow and that sort of thing, You're never going to have to worry about that here. You're not going to see any of that kind of weather. So if you're somebody who's looking for getting away from that cold and snow time of the year, you're going to love being in KL. And the number 9 reason that I love KL is perhaps an odd reason, but for me it's something that I like, and that's the fact that the length of the day here in KL is pretty much uniform the entire year around. And the reason for that is that you're just north of the equator. You're very close to the equator. So there's not much variance in the length of the days. The sunrise and the sunset are very close to the same time of the year or same time of the day all year long. Very much unlike in the United States, say, where you have very long summer days and very short winter days. So you know what kind of a day you're going to have as far as how long the day is. You pretty much know when the sun's coming up and when it's going to set. It's pretty much the same all year round. And I kind of like that. So those are 9 reasons why I really love KL. Have you been here before? What are some things that you like about KL? Please share those down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, let's get out there and travel.